Okay, so the recording has started from now on. So guys, welcome. We are really, really happy to see every one of you. And may this beautiful light energy of the meditation we have just done remain with us throughout this webinar and create amazing atmosphere. So this webinar has been organized by the weekly fasting group. We are people from all over the world, and we keep in touch by means of WhatsApp. And the idea is that we cultivate the habit of fasting 24 hours every week. Some people do it longer, 24 hours every week between Friday and Saturday. And we do it week after week after week on a consistent basis. So if this idea appeals to you and you're watching this video and you are not yet a member of this group, you are welcome to look below the video. There is my WhatsApp number. I'm the moderator of the group. My name is Arik. You can send me a message and I will happily add you. And also, as a part of group activity, we invite wonderful speakers every week, or almost every week, on different variety, big variety of subjects such as healing, fasting, lifestyle without food, different healing modalities, even relationships, many other things. So today we have with us wonderful Swati Hariwal. Swati Hariwal. She has been into different healing modalities since she was 5. She's gonna tell us about it. And she's a healing practitioner. She's going to enlighten us what we can do in order to speed up our healing, our detox, to make our to make our fast lighter and more fun, etc. So, Swati, over to you. Namaste. You just have to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eric, for this nice introduction and this opportunity to connect with so many people.
My
And
pleasure.
yeah, so let me introduce myself a little bit. I'm Swati Dhariwal, and I live in India, in the southern part of India. My father was a nature cure practitioner, and I learned everything under him. And during all these years, my experience has just taught me one thing is we need to learn to listen to our body, which is the most difficult thing today with so much of marketing happening around and so much of knowledge about different things around. What's happening is we are losing the concept that we can listen to our body and just do the right thing for ourselves. So before I start, let me just introduce you to the different states of health that everybody is usually in. When like everybody goes through different states of health, when you are born, most probably most of the children are born with a very healthy body, a very clean body. With time, what happens? As the child starts growing a little bit, what happens is the mother might be eating some cooked food. The way the mother lives might transfer some of the uh, nutrients which might not be really too healthy to the baby, and the baby might start having a cold, and the mom will just end up giving the baby a pill. So that's where the accumulation of toxins begins in a human body. So what we consider different types of stages of health are like when you are perfectly okay, healthy, you have different ways by which the body will try to throw out the toxins that get accumulated in the body time to time. So the first different types with which the body tries to eliminate toxins are like a fever or a cold or a cough. So these are just acute uh, ways with which the body tries to throw out the toxins. So, and these are the first symptoms that somebody will face. So, how intelligently we try to face these is going to determine where we are going to be or where our state of health is going to be in the near future. Like the first symptom of detoxification that a human being can face is having some mucus formation, and you might end up having a cold. So if you don't suppress it, if you let it just take its own course, and if you just let it flow out, what will happen? The body will just remove all the mucus and you will be back to normal in a couple of days. But then, most probably, what we end up doing is we just take a couple of pills or we try to take some syrup and just try to suppress the symptoms. And the toxins are just kept behind and they're still in there in your body. Again, after some time, the body might just collect a little more of its energy and try to throw it out with some other symptom. It might be a headache, or it can be a sort of, you might just end up having a fever. And again, the body is trying to throw the toxins. But what we do, we will just take some medicines, again, try to suppress it. And with time, the toxins still stay back into the body. This in time will just keep on accumulating further. And with time, we see that people end up having a little bit more severe diseases or more complicated diseases like a blood pressure issue or a diabetes issue or anything that you can call which is a chronic issue, which just is there with you for a long time. Okay. So even when you face this chronic issues, usually what happens is like we don't really take it much seriously, and again we just try to rely on medication and try to just keep the toxins. Like we just don't realize that we need to let the body do its work. What we think is we need to assist it with some external support, and we just keep giving some medicines, and we just keep on carrying on with the same state. And this further will end up in taking that person to a more degenerative state. And this is where the body has started giving up on us and saying like, okay, now this is, I can't take more of the toxins now. And I have to slowly try to rewind my journey on this earth. So these are the three states of health that one can find himself in. The first is the acute state of health, like where we are perfectly okay, and where when the toxins are accumulated inside, the body tries to throw out through very simple things like a cough or a cold or a headache or a body pain or something very simple like that. So when these are not enough to do the detoxing properly, we end up having being in a chronic state. And when you don't support your body in a chronic state, we end up in a degenerative state. Okay. So how do we get ourselves out of this cycle is what I'm going to talk about now. So when in Nature Cure, the major idea is a human body is part of nature. So nature has a certain protocol. Nature has a certain way in which a human body is going to be functioning. And there are certain things that the body really needs to nourish it. So if we just follow the system or the way nature has provided us to follow it, the body is going to do exactly what it needs to do to maintain itself, to regulate itself, and to just keep itself in a very healthy state. But then, what usually is happening these days majorly is people just don't understand this particular thing. When they face some sort of a health issue, they get frightened, and that fear takes them or makes them take some short-term action, like some medicine or something, which can suppress the symptoms because you don't want to face the discomfort, and that takes you further into more complications. So this is uh, what we start doing is when people come to me, I just try to keep teaching them and tell them, like, you need to learn to listen to your body, which uh, we have lost the idea how we can do it. So slowly, like, you just need to listen to what the body is telling you. Like if there's a fever or if there's a cold, let's start with a simple cold. Like when I have a cold, so what does the body tell you? When I have a cold, how do you feel? Can somebody tell me? Like, what are the symptoms that you face when you have a cold?
Sore throat.
Yeah, sore
Running
throat,
nose,
runny nose, anything else?
Sleepiness.
Sleepiness. So that's great. So yes. So
headaches
even
sometimes.
headaches, yes. So the sore throat will give you an idea that the body doesn't want you to eat anything at that moment during a cold. Okay. And the sleepiness tells you that the body wants to be in a state of rest. And the headache is again, it's an alarm bell which is just giving you an information that I am doing some major work, so please go into a state of rest. Please be under rest so that we can do what we need to do properly. So we just need to listen to that and respect that and stop eating. Like what we say is you have to go into a state of rest at all three levels. The first being at the physical level, like don't do any work, just lie down, relax. Secondly, mental, don't think of any issues or don't try to take up any responsibilities or don't discuss things with anybody. Just relax and just lie down. And thirdly, you have to go into rest even at the physiological state. Physiological level. Physiological level will mean like you have to stop eating also because you don't want to get your digestive system into working. Because when you're eating something, the body has to spend its energy on digesting the food. But then what we actually want to do is the body with your sore throat and the taste change in the mouth. Usually you would have noticed like even the taste has changed in the mouth. So what we think is we might want to eat something very spicy, but or something very tasty, but no, the body actually doesn't want anything, and it wants you to be in a state of rest. So just respect it, go into a state of rest, and what's best in such a situation is what we all do, and that's fast. Go into a state of fast for some time, maybe one whole night, 16 hours, or even 24 hours, and if this cold still persists, maybe 36 hours. And you'll see that you're very easily sailed out of it, all the mucus is gone, and you are perfectly back in a state of very good health. So this is the first step that anybody can take towards good health. And that is just listen to the body. Let's take up a fever. Fever is the most according to us, nature care practitioners, fever is something which is very important. It's like a magical wand that nature has given in your hands. You can make the best of a fever and you can just get out of any sort of disease that you have if you have a fever. The only thing is you just need to know how to handle a fever. And again, I'd like to ask a question here. Like when somebody has fever, what are the symptoms that somebody faces?
Body
Weakness.
temperature rises.
Weakness, yes.
Body temperature
High
rises.
temperature? High temperature.
High temperature, yes, high temperature.
Joint pains.
Yeah.
Joint pains.
Joints pain, yes.
Sweating, lots of sweating.
Yes. Anything else?
Yeah,
Bitter
and
taste.
then someone says on the chat, delirious, like
Yeah, heaviness and
not clear in your mind.
not clear in your head. Yes. So now,
And also bitterness, bitter taste, Swati.
bitterness in your mouth. Yes. So now let's understand all these symptoms. Let's understand all these symptoms. First thing is the bitterness in the mouth. The bitterness in the mouth tells you the body doesn't want to eat, it doesn't want you to eat anything. It doesn't want you to put anything in your mouth anymore. You have to give yourself complete rest. Don't eat anything at all. Because, and yeah, let me continue. Next thing is you feel delirious. You don't have that clarity in your mind because there's a lot of activity happening inside. You might have a headache. You'll have joints pain. You will feel very weak. You'll feel very tired. So that means all your energy, all your energy has been directed inside. Yeah, our vitality is there, our energies are there, but they are all directed inside, and all the energies are working. All your energy is working at cleaning at all levels. And the high temperature just tries to uh, the extra heat actually tries to melt down the toxins in any part of the body, maybe at the cellular level, maybe in the joints. If a person has a heart issue, then maybe somewhere where in your arteries or in your heart. So wherever we have the toxic deposits, that's where the temperature is trying to melt it out, try to pull it out, and try to break it down and throw it out. So that is why we have this high temperature. So when a person has a fever, that is the best state in which he can actually try to clear all his health issues, because the fever is working from top to bottom and it's cleansing every single cell in your body. But then we just need to know how to handle it. That's where people really make a major mistake, because the body is trying to raise the temperature and we try to put down the temperature by taking medicines. And so like we are creating a sort of a war like situation in our own body. The body wants to do one thing and we are not letting the body do what it wants to do by trying to send in something else which is going to stop the body from doing what it needs to do. So it's like a warlike situation inside the body, and the vitality of the human body is taxed very badly here. Now, what's this vitality? I'll take a little detour here. I need to talk a little bit about vitality before we really go further. Vitality is what we say, this is a life force that everybody is born with. Like every single human body is born with a certain amount of vitality or life force, which is going to last him from day one to the last breath that he's going to take. And everybody has different levels of vitality, and that is determined at the moment when the baby is conceived in the mother's womb. And it is determined by the vitality of the father, the vitality of the state of health the mother at that moment is in. And that is going to determine what sort of a vitality level that the baby is going to have. And that is what we are using all through our life. This is a life force which is going to last me all through my life. And nothing is going to help me to increase it. The only thing is possible is just spending it wisely. I just need to spend it wisely. We just call it as vital economy, because we need to spend the vitality very, very intelligently so that you don't spend it fast and finish it off. Yeah. So whenever, so this vitality is what is doing everything that the cleaning, the healing, the cleansing, or whatever is that's happening in the body. So during a fever or during a cold, this vitality is what is working towards healing and cleaning. And this is what we need to try to conserve as much as possible so that the cleaning and healing happens completely. So during a fever, now we're getting back to the state of fever. During a fever, what's happening is all your vitality is being directed completely inside your body to try to heal and repair whatever is damaged. So Hippocrates, you would have heard of Hippocrates. He used to say, like, just give me a fever, I can heal just anything. Like any disease can be healed if you have a fever. For example, there was a guy who had cancer, and he came to know that he had cancer at the age of 23. And the doctors had told him that he might not be able to live more than 5 months. So he had a very short time. And so he just did not want to die, as usually nobody wants to die so early. So he just started doing his own research. and collected information and just realized like, okay, if I follow a natural lifestyle, I can try to live a little bit longer than just 5 months. So he just decided that he's going to conserve his vitality as much as possible, and that is going to help the body heal perfectly. So he started eating the right foods, and that is the live foods, the foods that have life in it, that is the fruits. And he would eat very less of fruits only when he was hungry. He would not eat, he would just eat once a day. He would just eat maybe just one pineapple a day, and he would just swim in the river or maybe in the sea, and he would just be out there in the nature so that he gets a lot of nature's abundance, the sunlight, and he would be connected with the ground, walk barefoot on the sand, and just be connected with the life force around him. And after a month or two of being on this lifestyle, he developed a fever, and then this he knew that this is the right time to help the body cleanse of everything that's in there. So he went into a fast mode, as that is the best way of letting your body heal. Go into a rest mode completely at all three levels, physically, mentally, and physiologically. He just started his fast. At the most, what he would do was, like, if he was thirsty, he would drink water. Otherwise, not even that. Just let the body. He just listen to the body. Just let the body do what it needs to do. The fever lasted a couple of days, but after the fever had gone, he was still not hungry. The body did not want to eat yet. My mouth was not salivating at the look. Like when he looked at some fruits, the body was not. The mouth was not salivating. So he knew that he was not hungry. So, and without hunger, you're not supposed to eat. So he just did not eat. And this went on for 40 days. And those 40 days, he could feel that every other day he could see he will have some detox symptom, and he'll know that the body was eliminating a lot of unwanted matter. And after 40 days, the hunger came back. He just started salivating when he saw some fruits, and he knew like this is the right time to break my fast. And he started having some fruits. And then after some days, he just went and got a checkup done. And what does he find? There's no cancer. So this is why we say, like, the cold, the cough, the headache, these are all your friends. They're not your enemies. All these detox symptoms are your friends. And just letting them do their work properly, supporting the activity is just going to make you better and not worse. You just need to let it happen without any hindrance. Yeah. So this was about when you are in a healthy state, when you have some acute health issues. Okay, by chance, by mostly these days, people have actually reached a state of chronic state of health. So what when somebody is in a chronic state of health, and what if somebody is not able to develop a fever? Like mostly you would have noticed, like as we grow up, the body just ceases to bring up fevers. Like we just don't have a fever. Like last time when I had a fever, like if you just try to think, like when was the last time I had a fever? It might just not be in a couple of years, maybe. Can anybody just tell me, like, when was the last time they had a fever? Like, how often do you have a fever?
Quite often.
That's great. Your vitality is really very strong. Your body really in a very good state of health. Yeah. Anybody else?
Ashwin and God bless. I don't get fever.
Yeah. So this
Ashwin,
Yeah, I have
grace of God.
I would say 2 times a year or something like that. On average, 2 times, maybe 3 times a year, maybe sometimes less, sometimes more, but I would say on average something like that.
That's great. That's great, because that shows that the body is highly active and it is able to do what it needs to do at the right time. The body is able to throw out the toxins that has been accumulated, and I just believe that this is because you are fasting regularly.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I haven't had fever for some years. I don't remember when was the last time. Maybe 3 years ago or
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Yeah. So this shows that the body has gone into a state, a chronic state, where it is not able to raise a fever. So what we can do then? The best thing we can do is do regular fasts, give your body intermittent rests in between so that the body can do some cleaning and it can just remove some more toxins and try to get its vitality freer and available for doing more of healing and cleansing. And along with it, listen to your body. Don't eat without hunger. Eat only when you're hungry. And spend more time in nature because the sunlight, the water, the earth, they are all they hold a lot of importance in our well-being. So more we are connected with nature, the more our vitality is conserved and used more intelligently for the healing of our body. So when you continue to be practice this, what happens is the body saves enough vitality to develop a fever. So here, like we actually celebrate fever in nature cure. Like what we do is we actually celebrate fever. If somebody gets fever, we say, "Wow, you are so lucky," and we just applaud them and just help them go through it with ease. So that's one, like the body has to conserve as much vitality as possible and move more towards getting a fever. So what we suggest is like don't suggest that people go on to long fasts without the body initiating it, because your vital energy or your vitality is occupied in many other uh, in the chronic state of your health. So the best is maximum 72 hours of a fast, and do it regularly if you want, but just do it in intermittently with some gaps, and try to save as much energy as possible and let the body work on its own. And when the body starts detoxing, whenever the body is detoxing, just help it remove the toxins further by going into a fast again. And we believe that the body tells you when you need to get into a fast and initiates the fast at the right time. And the best is when you have a cold or a cough or a fever or a headache. So all these are the right time to get into a fast and help your body heal and cleanse itself at the fastest. So that's how important a fever is. Like even if it's the corona or any, just name it, any name, you just give the fever any name, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the activity is just the same. The body is just trying to throw out some unwanted matter. So you just need to support it and help it finish its job. uh, I've had many people who know that I can help them heal naturally. Whenever they had this fever, uh, the COVID, they just contacted me, and I just would support them by suggesting that they go onto a fast. First thing we start with is by going onto a fast, and just don't break the fast until you think your body is ready to break the fast. And when you have broken it, just go on to fruits until all your symptoms are gone. And they just sail out of all these issues just very simply and coolly. Like there's no complication, there's no complexities, and the state of health is more better after the fever.
Wow.
So this is not something that you need to fear. This is something that you need to celebrate. But today, all over the world, this is something, it's become a major matter of fear, which we actually don't need at all, because fever is your best friend and you just need to embrace it and celebrate it. And you just need to know how to handle it. It's as simple as that. Because this is one of the most best way a body can detox completely at the cellular level. Yeah. So that was about the fever. So these are the different ways with which the body detoxes. So now let
Swati,
me, yeah.
yeah, Swati, I just wanted to clarify a few things. We had few questions on the chat. But
Okay.
I just want to tell you that it's fascinating, you know, this information and how you described listening to the body and how you connected the symptoms with what actually body tells us. You
Yeah.
know, it's just amazing. I had some tuition about that as well, so it's amazing. It's amazing. And then I also thought we could make this kind of a sticker. Don't fear the fever. Just this kind of a slogan. Don't fear the fever.
Actually, actually,
Yeah.
actually.
Now someone is asking here on the chat if life energy that you mentioned the same as what's called prana in yoga. In yoga,
It is.
in it.
It is. It is.
So it's the same. Okay, good, good. And then Jaya says it feels like a fever. I'm perspiring, but when I take the temperature, I am boiling, but no temperature. Ah, okay. Okay, so I'm boiling but no temperature.
Yes.
I
Yes.
suffer with chronic health conditions,
Mm,
fibromyalgia, and very complicated health problems.
right.
Yeah, so basically she has no temperature, but she feels like boiling. So that's the condition.
This is what we need to understand. The body wants to bring up a fever, but it doesn't have much vitality to do so. And so you feel the feverishness, you feel hot from inside, you feel that the body is boiling, you feel the perspiration. So the body is doing all that it does while you have a fever, but it is just not able to. Okay, there's a power cut here. Okay,
Mm, okay, and then
yeah,
okay,
this is.
so there's another question here about insulin resistance, but okay, but maybe we'll cover it later. Now, just last thing regarding fever, unless someone else has any questions about that, what would you recommend? What kind of protocol or regimen would you recommend for children or for babies in case of fever? So not to not to interfere with it at all, regardless of the temperature, or sometimes it does require, for example, to put some ice on their forehead or whatever, you know, or just whenever there is there is fever, regardless of the temperature, just not to interfere. So, what would you recommend for babies and for children?
Yeah, I have two kids, and one is 24 now, and the smaller one is 11 now. And I've never ever tried to use any medicine to try to get them out of a fever since they were born. The only thing I always do with my kids is since they were a baby, if the child has fever, the only thing I do when it's a small baby, I just let it be. I just don't disturb it because I know within a day or two the temperature is going to go as soon as all the toxins are going to go out. And if I'm breastfeeding, the most important thing will be what I'm eating. So even I would just try to be on fruits so that the baby is getting the best nourishment. And within a day or two, the baby is out of fever. And the temperatures, if you don't disturb the temperature, if you don't disturb the body, the temperatures never go out of hand, is what I have noticed. Yeah. And as the child grows, what I do is I just stop giving the baby any food.
Mm.
The first thing is teach your child to fast at the younger, tender age. And yes, the child cannot fast like we fast for 24 hours or 36 hours because they are kids, they'll be hungry, and like they might not be hungry, but still they'll be demanding for food because they think they have to eat food. But then what I do is I just give them some citrus fruits
Uh-huh.
if they demand for food, if they want to have something.
Mm.
And I don't put an ice pack or a wet pack on the head or the stomach until the fever has crossed the mark of 103
103 Fahrenheit, right? So
Fahrenheit.
how,
Yes.
how much would it be in Celsius?
Um, so that I need to check. I'm not sure.
Okay, so it's 103 Fahrenheit. Okay, I will check it. I will
Yeah.
tell our listeners during the webinar. Yeah.
So even if it has reached 103, the
It's
only
39.4.
39.4. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So if the temperature is starting to cross that mark, then what you can do is only place a wet pack on the forehead and or nowhere else, and let it be at room temperature. Don't try to make it just too cold, because it's just too shocking for the body, because the body is trying to do something which we are not supposed to hinder. The only thing we need to take care is the temperature doesn't go into your brain and disturb your mental activity, your mind's equilibrium. So that's the only protocol you need to take care of. Just put a wet pack on the forehead, that's it. And let the body be warm, let the body be hot. Don't cover the baby, because covering might make it feel uncomfortable. The
Yes.
body needs to breathe, the body needs to perspire, the body needs to let out all the heat. So just keep the baby comfortable, just make it feel comfortable, just be with the child. Just about 1 day and 2 days, the baby is going to be perfectly all right.
Cool. Sounds good.
What I've seen is, if you assist, if you take care of your child's fever this way, it can never take the form of any names that you can give, maybe the malaria or the dengue or the corona or whatever. It will not reach that stage at all if
Very
you don't
important.
try to hinder the activity of the body. That happens only when you have tried to stop the temperature by giving it pills. When you try to bring down the temperature, the body again tries to uh, fight further again, because it just wants to, it has collected enough vitality to fight the toxin, to throw out the toxin. So it
Yeah.
is still going to continue with the job it's going to do.
Amazing, Swati. So could you please repeat? So what exactly should you put on his or her forehead?
A wet pack. Just
Okay.
put a napkin in at with normal room temperature water. Let it not be too cold, let it not be too warm. It just has to be at room temperature, normal, and just place it on the forehead so that the temperature doesn't reach the brain. That is it.
Great, great. Okay, guys, so before we move on, do you have any questions related to what Swati has covered so far? Because on the chat, we got a few other kinds of questions. First of all, we'll let Swati tell us whatever she wants, and then we will ask her if she hasn't covered that. But regarding fever, regarding whatever she was talking about so far, do you have any questions? You can just unmute yourself and just ask her before we move on. Does anyone have?
I have a question. Do you hear me?
Yeah, here's Svetlana. Yeah.
Yes, hi, I am from Canada. Thank you very much. And
Yeah.
I have a question. Are you practicing mindfulness?
You need to, sorry to interrupt you. You need to bring up your volume. I can't hear you.
I put a question on the chat. Do you practice mindfulness?
She's asking if you practice mindfulness.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so maybe we can just cover it as we move along. So because just to make it more. But now on the chat, someone is asking, can we give fruits to kids when they have fever?
Yeah, you can. You can give fruits to kids when they have fever. The best ones are the citrus fruits, the orange, apple, or the pineapple, the pomegranates. These are the best because it's better for taste, and they are just watery and juicy. It's more hydrating, and you don't need to give just too much. Just give a little, because the child can't eat more because of the bitterness in the mouth. The child cannot eat more, so it'll just have a little bit, and then the child will be fine. The child will be calm. But please don't give any cooked food. Don't give any complicated food. And just by keeping off unwanted food, the child is going to heal very fast within a day or 2 or 3 maximum. And the child will be just active and bouncing back to normal.
I have one question.
Yeah. Yes, please.
So, can we replace water fasting with fruit juice fasting?
Yes. Is this question for grown-ups or for kids?
Grown-up adults.
Grown-up adults. I would suggest, as long as you have a temperature, please be on a water fast. That's the best. But if you just cannot, then yes, fruit juice fast is also okay. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Like the body is not going to be able to do its work at the speed that it can do when you're on a water fast. but still it is going to be able to do a very decent job. So juice fast is okay, better than taking pills. Yes, and suppressing it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, okay, and then someone is asking, how do we how to remain consistent while fasting in fever?
Yeah. It's very much easy. As I told you, the body has already given you the cues because the mouth is bitter. The body is tired. You have a slight headache. So the body is demanding for rest. In all its actions, it is just telling you, please be in a resting mode. So just be in rest at all three levels. And you can be consistent, yes, but if you still find this difficult, and it can be really tough because fighting the fever on your own, it can be tough. So try to connect with somebody who can help you through this and who can just guide you through this and easily bring you out of this these couple of days safely and easily. Yeah.
Okay, great. Any more questions, guys? Okay, so please continue.
Yeah. So let me now talk about the different modalities that we use during the detoxification process that the body goes through. Like when you're fasting or when you have some any form of detox symptoms, the first thing that we suggest to anybody is going to rest mode, as I've already spoken about. But then there are certain symptoms which can be a little bit frightening or which can be a little bit demanding, where you might have to get in some sort of a protocol to support it and to just help your body sail through it more easily and safely. So the different modalities that we use here is like the hydrotherapy, like we make use of water, the sunlight, the earth, and space, the fasting, and breathing, like the most important ingredients for good health. And they are the sun, the water, the air, and the space, that is what we call as fasting, and the earth. So we get how do we connect with these elements? The best way is be in nature, get sun every day. This is one of the most important things that I keep telling everybody is please make it a point that you go out in the sun every day, at least for an hour or two minimum, so that your nerves, your system gets the energy directly from the source. And if we are not getting it directly from the source, then the secondary source is our food. But it's best to get it directly also, because that's how nature has designed us to be. We were not designed to be living in four walls in air conditioned rooms. We were supposed to be living out there in the nature, directly in contact with nature, get the sunlight directly. So these are the elements that you need to connect to. We make use of the water to try to help the body to ease through some of the symptoms. We get the help from the earth to ease ourselves to get through some of the symptoms. So let me talk a little bit about all the five elements or five ingredients of good health, which you can make use of to try to get through your detox symptoms. Yeah. So firstly, let's take the sun. The sun is best when useful when you're going through some sort of your mental detoxes. Like whenever you think you are facing some depression, a state of depression or stress or anger or any negative emotion, the best support you can get from nature is going out into the sun, because the sun's energy is going to help the chemicals in the mind, in the brain, to just slowly change and get into a more positive one. So you need to be out there getting the sun's light. So what I do is for people, I use this more. I send everybody into the sun every day, even if they are suffering from physical health or mental health. But for people who are suffering from mental health issues, I make it a point that they somehow have to be out there. They have to get the sun every day, morning, evening, whenever they find time, whenever it is comfortable, not when the sun is too hot for them, maybe in the morning and just in the evening when the sun is really cooler and it's more comfortable on you. So this is how you can make use of the sun to help you ease through any sort of negative emotions that you might be going through during a detox. Because it is not just the body that is detoxing whenever you are going through some sort of detox. It's also your mind that is detoxing. The body is trying to remove the emotional, the suppressed emotions that we've had, which has resulted in the state of health that we are in today. So whenever the body is trying to remove those stresses or the emotions, when it is releasing those suppressed emotions, it's the best that you support it and let it just go, let it just happen, and not suppress it with eating anything unnecessary. Because very often people end up eating, like they call this as stress eating. They just end up eating their comfort foods, and then this again keeps the symptoms inside again. And we don't want that. We want this to just leave us. So the best is go out in nature, get the sun's light, get the energy from the breeze, air, connect with nature, connect with the soil, and just let it ease out. And with time, you'll see that the the pressure of that emotion slowly webs away, and you start feeling more calmer and cooler. Please try this out the next time anybody is facing an emotional uh, detox. Whenever you are going through a fast or when you have broken a fast, you might go through an emotional detox. Just try this out. Go out in nature, spend some time in nature, barefoot, just sit on the soil or on the grass, get the breeze, get the sun, and within half an hour or so you will feel like you just will not realize, and your state of mind would have just altered. So that's one thing about the sun. And the next thing that you can make use of is when let's talk about water, because water is very powerful, and we make use of the hydrotherapy very extensively here at our center to help.
Yeah, yes, Swati, but I'm sorry, we have received few questions about the sun subject. So let's ask them and then we will get to the water. So Jaya is asking, if you live in a polluted area and you are doing food fasting and sun gazing and can't always get into the countryside, what is the best thing to do? And it feels lately I'm going around in circles because of the polluted area we live in.
Okay, yes. So I would suggest, like, try to connect with nature somehow, somewhere. There might be a patch of green grass somewhere around in your neighborhood. There could be some tree in your neighborhood. There could be some patch of natural habitat in your neighborhood. Try to go to that place. If not, just go and sit under a tree. Even sitting under a tree is going to help you a lot, because the tree has so much of capability that it can just uh, take in your negativity and give its positivity. So if you just can't find anything much, just go and sit under a tree. I'm sure you might find at least a tree somewhere in your neighborhood. And that will help you, because the oxygen from the tree is going to help you breathe better. And the sunlight is going to make you feel better. And the positivity coming out of the tree is going to calm you down, and you will start feeling better very soon.
Swati, and now I have a question. So if you want to get the maximum benefit from trees, do you need to touch them physically, or it's enough that you just that you're staying in their vicinity?
Both are okay. Touching it is, yes, it's a very good, it just gives a lot of calming effect, because it's like you are hugging another living being. So it can
Yeah.
give you a more feeling or sense of being connected. So yes, it's good, you can, if you can do that. And if not, also it doesn't matter, just lie down there, just watch it, and just watch the birds, just the leaves, even just connect with it somehow,
Amazing.
physically or mentally.
Amazing. And then we have another question. Someone is asking what to do in terms of sun exposure when it is cloudy, when there is not enough sun. What to do?
Right. A very good question. Even when there's no sun, you still have the radiations. You still have the light. So still go out in the sun and get the sun exposure. You are still going to get the radiations.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. Okay, guys, so you are welcome to, if you have any more questions, because to tell you the truth, I have a little bit of eye irritation today, so it's quite difficult for me to read those questions. So, guys, I will be really, really appreciative if you just unmute yourself and just read your questions or just ask your questions if I haven't read anything.
Can I ask something? Isn't radiation where in countries that there's a hot sun, isn't it isn't it damaging, harmful? Too much radiation?
This is something, a very, very wrong concept that has been fed into us by the industries because they want to sell certain chemicals. It is not harmful at all. The symptoms which you think are being caused by the sun exposure, can you just name a few?
It ages the skin, the face.
Yes, and it can give you a tan, right? Yeah. So actually, it is the sun helping you out by burning up the toxins inside your body.
And
so
too much.
initially, this can be a little bit frightening because you might think you are just growing older, but then if you are on the right food habit and if you're on the right lifestyle, slowly the sun is going to help you burn the toxins and you are going to get a better skin and a healthier skin with time. But then if you're still following the same sad diet, the input of the toxic food is still going to be there and the burning is still going to be happening all the time. So this will age you very fast.
Yes, post-processed food ages you, but don't you have to apply sunscreen to protect the face?
Please. No, because the chemicals are more damaging than the sun's light. The sun's light can never be damaging because that is the source of life on earth. If the sun moved just a couple of inches away from the earth, life would just cease to exist on this earth. So it is no way damaging in any way. Yes, I've heard the idea people have been telling about, like there are some holes in the ozone layer through which you get all the negative energies or the ultraviolet rays which can damage your skin. No, the sun does not damage anything. All the other animals other than human being, every animal, every plant, every tree is out there 24/7. Right? It's only the human being who is being protected by the four walls. So when it's not damaging for the animals don't need a sunscreen. Why do we? This is because we are not on the right path. We are not eating the right food. The animals are eating, mostly who are not under our care, are eating the right food. So they are just okay with everything in nature.
So it doesn't even it doesn't matter if you have light skin, it's still okay. I mean,
yes, it is. It is, but just you can't overdo sun exposure immediately, suddenly, because we are not used to it since many years. We have been protected and we've been keeping ourselves away from sun. Just do it gradually. And you'll know how, you'll know with time, like you just go out in the sun, be there. And when you start feeling a slight pinching in your skin, you can understand it's time for you to go in. And with time, this duration will increase. And then you will reach a stage where any time of the day, you're going to be perfectly okay in the sun.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so
I have one
I have
question.
a question.
Yes, please. Yep. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so my question is, like you said, if the food habit is right, on point, like if we are eating living fruits, living food, and maintain the consistency of going out in the sun at least an hour in a day. So in the beginning, the tanning will happen, and later on, as you progress, your skin will become as healthy as it used to be, and the tanning will not happen. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. Exactly. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Like with time, the tanning will stop.
Okay, great. Thank you.
If you are eating the living foods and the right foods, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now, who
I
else,
have
guys?
one question.
Yeah.
Is sun gazing acceptable in nature cure?
Yeah, it is very much part of nature cure. Going out in sun is nothing less than sun gazing. And when you talk about exactly the sun gazing that you're talking about, yes, you can do it, and it is a very good practice. But then just do it the first thing when the sun has just risen, because then the sun is not very harsh, and the eyes don't get damaged. So just do the sun gazing for a couple of seconds. Start with 15 seconds maybe, and as you get used to it, you can do it for 30 seconds and 40 seconds or 1 minute and more than that. But then you need to train your eyes to be able to take in the sun's rays. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else, guys? Please unmute yourself and read your questions, because really sometimes I have blurry vision today, so I have something with in my eye.
Okay, I'll help you out. I'll
sorry.
help you out, Arik. So,
Swati?
yeah. So there are
Yeah, tell me.
yeah. So there are a couple of questions. The first one is somebody has asked that we have too much of sun here, and yet
Yeah.
the highest case of vitamin D deficiency.
Yeah, I was asking that question. Swati, this is Sunita. Hi.
Hi.
I stay in Dubai, which is, got enough sunlight, and yet we have highest cases of vitamin D deficiency. Would you recommend still for us to go out in this heat and humidity?
Of course, of course. The high rate of vitamin D deficiency is because even though we are living in a tropical country, we don't get enough sun exposure, first thing. And secondly, even if we are getting a sun exposure, what we are trying to do is we are trying to protect ourselves as much as possible, either with a chemical, by sunscreen, by the use of sunscreen or something. So the best thing is get rid of the sunscreen, get rid of all the chemicals that you use on your skin, be it the soap or the shampoo or the moisturizers or whatever. Just get rid of all the chemicals because they are not healthy on your skin. The best thing is just directly get the sun exposure every day, and that is going to make your skin
No, but
better.
when? Because I mean, our temperatures range from like it can go up to 40 degrees and above. So
Yeah, that's a very good
the heat
question.
and it's the humidity and the heat. So people actually avoid going out. And
Yeah.
still, to get the sun exposure, we would have to go either at 5 o'clock in the morning to maximum 6, because after that it gets really hot and unbearable. So
Yes.
would that still give us enough sun? I mean, if we go that early?
Of course, of course, of course. Just go out just after the sun has risen, before the sun is getting too harsh, and just before the sun is going to set. What we say is 2 hours after the sunrise and 2 hours before the sunset will be very, very ideal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks.
You're welcome.
But
May I
Swati,
ask
but just a question in line with what Sunita asked. That doesn't mean 2 hours early. I mean, after the sunrise and sunsets. That doesn't mean you can't go out during the day, right? It's just because you're not used to, so you might get a pinching sun, and that's the only reason, right? Or
With time, your skin will get accustomed to it, and with time, you will be able to go out any time of the day.
okay, so we've heard. I mean, I have personally researched, and a lot of it says the sun rays causes the skin cancer. So yeah, nice information from your end. Thank you.
Yeah. So now let me explain a little bit here. The sun has not caused the skin cancer. It's the chemicals that we have been using on the skin for all these years that has reacted with the sun's rays, and then that has caused the cancer. So instead of getting rid of the sun, please get rid of the chemicals that you're putting onto your skin. So don't put anything on your skin which you won't want to put into your mouth. It's as simple as that. If you think you cannot eat a soap, please don't put it on your skin too, because the skin pores are going to pull in all the chemicals, and it's again going to be introduced into the bloodstream. So that is where the cancer issue is going to come in.
Can I just also thank you for this is very good. Swati, I just wanted to also, same topic about the sun, because the nurse practitioner told me, she said, which is very good, which is rare. She told me we need to go out in the sun. She said, don't wrap yourself up like that. But it was winter, so I was wrapped up. But she said and I think that's one of the reasons that I heard some doctors speak about that recently in regards to, like in India and Africa, they tend to wrap up themselves with all these cloths and materials and stuff like that. And they don't allow the skin to be exposed to the sun because that's how you absorb it, through the skin. So I think based on what the research has shown is that it's because of the wrapping up and not allowing the skin to get the exposure to receive the vitamin D.
Perfect. 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 Thank you so much for this explanation. Yeah, what you say is perfectly right. We need to unwrap ourselves and not wrap ourselves more. Yeah. Any other question?
Exactly.
Okay, guys, so I just want to make a note before we move on. So if you are not a member of the weekly fasting group and you want to join, I am posting here on the chat my phone number. My name is Arik, so please send me a WhatsApp message with your name to that number. Don't write it here like please add me. Please don't write it here on the chat, but just send me a WhatsApp message with your name and I will happily add you. So I'm posting it right now. So please move on.
Okay, so now let's go on to the next part, and that's the hydrotherapy. Let's talk about how water can help us during a detox that we are going through. Yeah, we use water very extensively in very different ways. Um, if somebody is going through some sort of a bloating or flatulence or discomfort in the digestion, when you have a stomach ache because the food is not digesting very well, so to ease out that pain, instead of taking an antacid, what I recommend people to do is just wet a towel, fold it into three by its length, and wrap it around your stomach, all around you, and just lie down and relax for half an hour. And you'll just see that the flatulence has gone down, the gas has been released, and you'll start feeling a little bit better again. But then do this only when you have a lot of pain in the stomach due to the indigestion. Okay, so this is when you can use a wet wrap to relieve some indigestion or pain in the stomach. We use wet packs in various other ways to help you relieve of any other pains in the body. For example, like usually what we say is any pain is actually an indication that the body is trying to repair itself, the body is trying to heal itself. So we try not to hinder the activity. But if it is unbearable, if you're just finding it very difficult to face it, and if you feel like reaching out for a pill, before trying that, please try a wet pack. Let it be on your head, or it can be on your any joint, maybe your shoulders or your knees or anywhere. Just try a wet pack. Just wet a napkin or a towel and just wrap it around the part wherever you have the pain, and you will see that the pain has just gone down with time. So this is one of the best ways to avoid a pill and help your body to go through the detoxification that it is going through. Yeah. So there are many other things that I can also share here. Usually what we say is the whole system, like the body, depends a lot on the backbone. So what we do is, for anybody coming here with any sort of health issue, I suggest that they have a spinal bath every day. And what's a spinal bath? A spinal bath is like we have a flat tub in which we lie down with, I just fill it with around 3 inches of water. And you lie down in it by immersing just the backbone into the water. The head is out, the legs are out, the arms are out. It's only the back that is in water. So what happens is the water just relieves the stress that the backbone is facing. That it also tries to pull out the toxins that are accumulating in the backbone. Because any health issue you have in any part of the body, it is going to be reflected in your backbone. So once you have a spinal bath every day, what happens is the body just relaxes. The body is able to relax, detox, and improve its quality of activity or healing that it is going through or it is doing. Yeah. And the next is there's a hip bath that we suggest. Just fill a tub with water maybe 6 inches of water, and sit in it with your legs out, just back straight. So only your hip area is going to be in the water. So this is going to help your digestive system to improve. This is going to help your kidneys to relieve the stress on the kidneys that has been there due to lots of clogging with a lot of unwanted matter clogged there. So if you have this hip bath every day, you can help your large intestines, your colon, your kidneys, your reproductive area to be healthy and and help it heal and detox fast with time. So even this is a very good practice that somebody can take in. But after the hip bath, yes, please be a little active, move around so that you generate heat again in your hip area. And after this, there's another thing that you can do. Um, yes, whenever there's indigestion, or if you're feeling that you're a lot of discomfort after you have broken a fast or something, it's just better to drink a lot of water and hydrate yourself well. And the best form of hydrating is actually by eating a lot of fruits. But sometimes even drinking water can help you. So just drink water and you'll start feeling better. So even that's one way that you can use water for your helping with your detoxification. And yes, when there's some sort of a pain, maybe a joints pain or a back pain, or maybe you've hurt or you've got some blood clot or something, then how can you help your body to try to remove that pain faster and let the healing or the repair work happen faster? You can try a hot and cold fermentation. Like just take water in two different vessels. One can be boiling hot and one can be at room temperature. Have two different napkins in both of them, and start with the hot water first. Apply that pad which is going through the pain with the hot napkin first, and then remove it and apply the cold one. So alternate it until for around 20 to 25 minutes, and finish it with a cold water uh, pack. And after some time, you see that the body starts really getting relief of the pain because of the compression and the expansion of that part. And we have tried to attract more blood supply to that part, so the healing happens faster and you will be relieved of the pain faster. So these are different ways with which you can try to avoid taking any external support of chemicals uh, to get rid of some sort of detox symptoms that you might be going through. These are the safest and the best. This is what I've seen in all these years of my practice. Like, these are the safest and the best that anybody can make use of to get rid of any detox symptoms that they might be going through. If there's any question here.
Yeah, there is one question here on the chat. Which water is best as per naturopathy?
Yeah, the best water is the spring water, which is out there in the nature. The water that is flowing from a spring, because a flowing water is the cleanest, and because it has touched many rocks, because it has gone through many herbs, it is more mineralized and the best form of water. But yes, if you cannot have access to that sort of water, then what we do is we try to source water from wherever we get it, but we just try to see to it that it is cleaned. Distilled water is also good. And we try to get it energized by, again, giving it some sun exposure. Or I try to keep the water in a mud pot or a copper vessel according to the season. Like if it's the winter, I try to use the copper vessel, and if it's the summer, I try to use a mud pot to try to make the water get into a more alkalized form, and which is more and make it more acceptable for my body.
Can I just ask, because you answered all of my questions, my goodness, it's amazing how things just come to you, you know, when you're in the right consciousness and awareness, all your answers, you just gave me the answer to a million questions that I had today. And I just want to go back to what you said about the pain in the leg. You must be picking up on my vibration. But how long should I keep the hot one on? and how long the cold one? Because you said to approximately 25 minutes in duration, but how long should I keep the hot then and then go to the cold? How should I alternate the time between the two?
Yeah, very good question. The hot can be kept as long as you can feel the heat.
Okay.
And that will be somewhere around maybe 30 seconds or a little bit more here and there. And the cold can be kept around 1 minute or 1.5 minutes.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate
Right.
that.
So any other question or shall I move on?
Really amazing. Thank you, Swati. But I have a really complicated health and have been unwell for 10 years. And my doctor has put me on lots and lots and lots of medications. And I'm currently fruit fasting and sun gazing, but in so much pain all the time throughout the whole body. And trying to come off medications, but they're for the heart and all sorts of things as well. What do you suggest to sort of detox, you know, to actually come away from all these pain medications and etc.? Sorry for the long question, but it's quite complicated.
Yeah. The best is, as I told you, just start listening to your body and responding accordingly. Like whenever you want to take, whenever you're facing some sort of a detox, or if you're facing some sort of an issue, just try to see what the body is trying to tell you. And once you understand what it's trying to tell you, you know what to do about it. And this way, slowly, 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 you can try to wean off your medicines. And you just don't have to wean off immediately, and you shouldn't be doing that. You need somebody to help you go through it, so that somebody to guide you through it. And once you are off the medication, the body will heal faster and better.
Thank you so much.
Does that satisfy your question?
Yeah, I'd love to come and stay in your center. I think.
Welcome. But the thing is, like, yes, if by it's sometimes it might not be possible for everybody to come and stay with me. So yes, I also help people online if they are not able to travel all the way and come and stay with me.
Okay, that would be amazing. Thank you so much, Swati.
Yeah, I just wanted that we will, I'm planning to ask towards the end of this webinar, I'm going to ask Swati about the services she provides, and also below the video, once it's posted on YouTube, we will put her contact details and everything, so you will be able to contact her. But for that, in order to get an access, you will have to send me a message or join the weekly group, the weekly fasting group, so that you get posts, get all the posts and stuff like that. But all the information will be available.
Thank you.
Okay, Swati, please go on.
Yeah. So yes, so this is about water. And
Swati, before you begin, I have one more question. It's related to the skin. Like you said, you should not put anything on the skin if you're not going to put that in your mouth.
Yes.
So again, my question would be, since there's a lot of the COVID buzz happening all around the world, and use of lot of sanitizers, detergents and Dettol, and we've been using that constantly, and and everyone around me is using that, and I would not want to put that in my mouth, of course. So should we use that or shouldn't we use that? And if not,
you don't need to. And the best sanitizer that you can make use of is just add a couple of drops of lemon to water and just wash your hands with that. Just normal water is also enough. And if you are not happy with if you still have a little bit of fear in you, then add some lemon drops to the water, wash your hands with that. Even that should suffice.
Yeah. So this sanitizer buzz is a myth?
It is, because the amount of sanitizer you're using on your hands, all the chemicals in it are being absorbed into your bloodstream, and that is again going to cause more, that's going to be a reason for more internal activity to remove the chemicals again from your system. So all your all your organs of elimination are going to have to work hard again, your kidneys and your lungs and your skin, to throw out the chemicals again. So this is like you're just overdosing your system with more of unwanted matter, which you don't need. Yeah. Sorry, there's a power cut here. Yeah. Okay. So any other question again, or shall I just continue?
Yes, one question, please.
Yeah, yes, please. Please.
So is spinal bath advisable every day, or when we have only issues, then only we have to take spinal?
It's okay to have it every day, no problem at all. But if you are having some sort of detox happening, if you are going through some issue, if you're going through some mental stress or strain, then yes, please go ahead and have a spinal bath.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes. So can I just continue?
Yes, Swati. Yeah, you can definitely.
Yeah. So next is we come to the earth. Like the earth is again equally very powerful element that can help us go through our detox symptoms and help us heal from whatever issues that we are going through. The mother, like earth is what I call it, like it's just like our mother. The mother is so patient and so forgiving. Same way, the earth is also very forgiving and very patient, and it can be as powerful an effect on you, just like a mother's love. So the best way to get the most out of your the energy from the earth is go out in the nature barefoot. That way, you get the magnetic force, the magnetic energy that is there in the earth, and the body is able to calm down all the extra activity in your body that's happening due to the all unwanted matter that's gone inside, the all unwanted information that's gone inside due to the exposure to the media. So all this can be calmed down and processed easily, more easily, or in a better manner if you are more grounded. And the best way to get grounded is just go out in nature, just walk barefoot, or sit in the grass, or do some work in the garden, do some gardening, put your hands into the soil. And when the moment you are connecting with the earth, your system starts calming down, your system starts, it is able to segregate all the information or all the matter that's gone inside in a better way and help you go through whatever you're going through better. So that's one way. And anybody who is going through some stressful situation, any negative emotion, as I told you, go out in the sun. And yes, the earthing, the grounding is equally important. Just be there barefoot. So the best way is like actually we were designed to be walking barefoot all the time. The more footwear that we are using, we are disconnecting ourselves from the energy, the earth energy, the mother's affection and the love and the grounding that can happen. So as much as possible, try to avoid the footwear unless it's really necessary. And especially if you're out there in the nature, try to be barefoot as much as possible to get the most out of the nature. And there are many other different ways that you can use the earth to help you heal. I can give you a couple of examples. Like I had a beehive in my garden, and Sunday, like we had a raw vegan potluck at my home, and we had many families in, and the kids were just playing in the garden. And without realizing, they disturbed the beehive, and a couple of kids got stung by the bees and on the face and their hands. The kids were crying very badly, and the best thing that I did immediately was I usually have a lot of soil at home, like clay at home, and it is always soaked. So we had that soaked soil at home. So we just applied the mud on the face and the place wherever the kids were stung by the bees. And you won't believe, within 5 minutes, the burning and the pain was gone. And there were multiple stings. It was not just one or two stings, there were multiple stings. And this I've tried many times with my family members also. And with just anybody, if just somebody calls me like, okay, there was a bee sting or any insect bite actually. Once, like my daughter had a big insect bite. I just don't know what insect had bitten her, but there was a big red patch on her thigh, and she was crying very incessantly because she was not able to bear the pain. So immediately I applied the clay on her thigh, and within 5 minutes she calmed down because the pain had just gone down, and she rested. And we just washed the leg after 2 hours, and what do I see? The whole big, large red patch was gone. And there was just one red spot left behind.
Wow.
And the
Amazing.
pain was all gone, and she was happy and she was just playing around. So, that much power is there in the soil. The soil can just pull out the toxins from your body very strongly. I can just give you many examples here. Like my brother in law, he was suffering, there was a big tumor in his head, just behind his eyes and near the brain. It was just in between the brain and the eye. So he was trying to get it operated. He visited many doctors all over India. He went to Delhi, he went to Hyderabad, he went to Bombay, and he tried to get himself operated and tried to remove the tumor. But he just could not because he had a high blood pressure, and he was a little bit afraid because all the doctors had suggested different modalities to remove the tumor. Like somebody was suggesting like we'll try to start get it removed from here. Somebody saying we'll try to get it removed from the back of the head. And so he was a little bit skeptical because everybody's giving different ideas, and he was afraid that it might not end up damaging some part of his brain. So he was just a little bit frustrated. And when I came to know, like my husband just suggested to him, listen, you just try this out. Just try to apply this mud, and maybe you will just start feeling better. Because the pressure, he was feeling the pressure very badly on his eye. It was literally pushing his eyeball out a little bit. Like he could actually feel the eyesight just going down because of the pain. And he started applying that mud, and you won't believe the pain was gone very soon. And just after some time, he just did not need the surgery. So until now, it's been 3-4 years, and he hasn't gone for the surgery yet. The only thing he does is after some time, he just becomes a little lazy because there's no pain. So after a couple of months, when the pain comes back, he again starts applying the mud pack, and again he's free of the pain and he's perfectly fine. So he hasn't needed the surgery. But I'm very sure if he had followed more of natural lifestyle practices, and if he had changed his good food habits, the tumor might have just gone completely. But then he is more of a foodie, and he doesn't believe in a natural lifestyle like that the way we believe. So this was the only thing that he practiced, applying the mud, and even that helped him. So the mud is so powerful. It can just pull out any toxin that's there in your body. So I make use of the mud even for people with joints pain, people who have pain in their joints and who have aches. Like we just wet the mud and we just apply it on the part where there's pain. And with time, the pain starts easing out. So that's how the powerful the mud also is.
Swati, so what would be the best soil for those mud things?
That's a very good question. See, the soil that I source from is not the best in the world. Whatever soil is available in your area is the best for you.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you live in Israel or whether you live in the US or the UK or India or wherever I live, the soil that I can source locally is the best for me.
Okay.
So I have to look just for a farm where they practice organic farming, where they don't put any chemicals into the soil. That is the first criteria that you have to look into. You have to look for a place where you can source the soil which doesn't have any chemical or chemical deposits. And then don't use the topsoil. Try to dig 1 or 2 feet deep into the soil and try to get the soil from below. And that is the soil that you can use, and that is the best. And yes, once you have used it, you cannot reuse it because it has the toxins in it that it has pulled out of your body. So please discard it, and next time use a new lot of soil for your next activity. Yeah. So any other question?
Swati, and so what should be, first of all, you mentioned taking the soil from the farms, but if it's just the wild soil from the forest, from the hills, so is it also applicable?
Yes, perfectly. Yes. The only thing is, it should not be very. It should not be like sand. It has to
Uh-huh.
be the sticky soil. It has to be that clayey soil. That is what
Yeah.
is the best on your body, which helps you detox faster.
Mm. And what is the best structure of this soil? So you mix it with water. Should it
Yeah.
be like very liquidy, very watery, or should it be like a mud, like a
It should be.
porridge? So how?
It must be more like a porridge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just curious, for example, in case of your brother, or who is this guy who had this
My
yeah,
brother.
yeah, so where exactly did he put this did he apply the mud?
Sorry, I forgot to mention that. He put the mud pack on the eye. He just kept a wet cloth on the eye and he put the mud blob on it. And just he would lie down, like he would just apply 2 blobs of mud on both the eyes and he would lie down for half an hour and then just remove it and discard the mud. So, yes, he placed it on his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have any sort of eye infection, if you have any sort of issues in your eyes, you can also correct your eyesight, improve your eyesight by applying these eye packs of mud packs on your eyes.
Yeah, so you don't put anything in between. You just take this lamp, this portion of the soil, and you just put it here. Yeah.
What I do is I just use a very thin cotton cloth.
Ah.
Like that, I keep it on the eyes and then I keep the soil because it makes it easier for me to remove it and keep it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, guys, so do you have any more questions? You can unmute yourself and read your questions, even if you posted them on the chat.
Hi, Swati, Jyoti here. Just wanted to check how long we should keep this mud pack.
Minimum half an hour.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So any other question?
When you prepare this mud, does the temperature of water matter or not so much?
Let it be at room temperature, normal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, most of my treatments, like most of the when I'm using the water or the mud, most of the time I try to see to it that it's at normal room temperature. It's neither too hot nor too cold unless I need it to relieve some pain. That is when I'm doing the hot and cold fermentation. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's usually at the room temperature, normal as it is.
Okay. And if we are talking about uncultivated soil, like from the hills or from the forest, from which depth should you take it in order for it to be effective?
1 to 2 feet at least below the earth.
Ah, okay.
Soil, yes.
And it's the same with organic farming soil, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You said it improves eyesight?
Yes, it does. Yeah, I've seen people improving their eyesight in such a way. Like there was a lady who came to my father when I was young with shaky eyeballs. Like the eyeballs would constantly be shaking, and that was one of the reasons why she was not able to get a promotion in her bank, because she was an assistant manager. She could not become the manager just because her eyesight, and she was not able to get married also because that was a sort of a hindrance for her. And yes, she had approached my father, and she was put onto a healthy lifestyle routine, like with all the nature's elements were introduced into her life. She used to go for sun baths, and she used to get the mud packs and the eye packs and stuff like that. And she also was on a light food regimen, more on fruits and vegetables. And you won't believe, within a couple of months, the eyeballs were steady and perfect, and she was perfectly all right. And yes, we have helped lots of people to get over their spectacles.
Wow.
Yes.
Swati, can I ask the eye thing as well? Is there any other suggestions that you have? Because you see, they have a lot of pesticides and stuff on the grass. They put a lot of that on there. So that's and I don't know if they'd like me going out and digging in there.
You, Don't sow soil from somewhere they use pesticides at all. Please, please avoid
Right.
it.
I'm
It's
glad
better
I
not to
mentioned
use
it.
soil then I would suggest
Yeah.
please use a wet pack. Just wet a napkin and then place it on your eyes or anywhere in your body, like wherever you need it. If you don't, if you can't source the soil, then use a wet pack. That's a very good alternative.
Yeah, I've noticed that that does help when I put a wet pack on my eyes. It improves my eyesight. Yes, definitely. But mostly everywhere they do pesticides here on the
Yes,
ground stuff.
even
So
wet pack can help you improve your eyesight and get rid of your spectacles.
beautiful. Thank you.
Swati, and what about using different clays? For example, here, if you go to the health food store, they sell different kind of clays like green clay, red clay, maybe, etc. So can they be good replacement for the soil?
Yes, of course, if you can't source the local soil, yes, you can go ahead and use these clays. It doesn't matter. You can use them, yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay,
The only
guys,
thing
this,
you need to
yeah,
be sure that they are from the right source, that they don't have any chemicals in them. That's it.
right, right, right. Okay, guys, so do we have any more questions?
Okay, so I think
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead. The next thing we can talk about is the air. Um, breathing in the fresh air and learning how to breathe right is also going to help you ease your detoxification symptoms a lot. Whenever you're going through some sort of a pain, let it be physical or mental, the best thing you can do is just sit down calmly or lie down calmly and practice some deep breathing. Just breathe in and just breathe out. And just do it consciously. That's it. You just don't need to do anything more than that. And if you have a pain in your stomach, or if you have a pain in your shoulders, or if you have a pain in your head, the only thing you need to do is every time you're breathing in, just try to direct the oxygen to that part of your body and just visualize that it is just enriching that part of your body. The oxygen is going and feeding the cells there and helping it to heal. And every time you're breathing out, you're breathing out the pain, you're breathing out the tightness, you're breathing out the stiffness, you're breathing out the stress. And when time you realize, like just by practicing this for some time, you will actually feel that you're able to face the pain better. You will not be struggling with the pain. You'll not feel very tortured by the pain. You will be able to sail through the process of the detoxification very calmly and peacefully, and you'll be feeling better very soon. So the practicing of the deep breathing, the relaxed breathing is a very, very powerful tool that anybody can bring into their lives. And practice breathing consciously whenever you're free. It can be just any part of the day. You are maybe just waiting at a bus stand, or maybe you're just waiting to meet somebody somewhere when you're not doing anything, or you just don't have anything much to do. Just try to bring your attention to your breath. And just see to it that you are deep breathing. Your breath is going to your, like you're breathing from your stomach. The breathing has to be, you need to check that you're not just breathing halfway through, like your breath is not just limited to your chest. Whenever you're breathing in, your stomach has to come out. And whenever you're breathing out, the stomach has to go in. This is when you are actually breathing completely. The breath is filling up your lungs to the core. So this is what you need to keep practicing every day, because of too many activities, thoughts in your mind, or too many things happening around you. Most of the time we end up taking half breaths. We are not taking deep breaths. And this is one of the reasons why we very often face a lot of health issues. So just by practicing deep breathing, just by practicing conscious breathing, you can improve the way you're breathing and improve the supply of oxygen to the body, and that will start helping you to feel better and heal faster and get through your detox symptoms more easily. Okay? And the oxygen that's available early morning, just a little bit, just before the sunrise, maybe 1 hour or half an hour before the sunrise, and just after the sunrise, the breeze, the air is highly charged with lots of positivity, lots of positive ions, and that's the right time to be out there and get all get connected with nature, get all the sources of connect with all the resources that your body needs, like the sun, the earth, get the fresh air, and nourish your body. Like I call this your first food of the day. This is one of the best ways to feed yourself, physically and mentally and spiritually. Going out there in the nature just before the sunrise and get the best that the nature has to offer you. Does anybody have any questions here? If not, I can just continue.
Yes, Swati. Actually, we have to wrap it up soon because we still need to talk about your center and everything. So I was thinking, maybe you are such an amazing speaker, and it's so interesting. We are definitely going to talk about our future cooperation and more webinars.
Yes.
Where we can just extend on those subjects. We can take up different other subjects, but we still have some time, so please continue.
Let me just wind up with the last element. Maybe that's the only one that's left out, and that is the element of space, and which this group is already practicing really well, and that is the practice of fasting.
Yeah.
That's bringing in the element of space into your life, like giving yourself enough space, just giving your body some space, just giving your mind some space, just keep away from things that don't really matter to you for some time, just calm down, and that will help you go through your detoxification the best way. So whenever you are going through any detox symptom, the best is go into a fasting mode, and that will help you heal faster. So yes, thank you, Eric. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah, sure. No, but we haven't finished yet. I just said that we are going to wrap it up, but we haven't finished yet. First of all, we have a few more questions here on the chat. So, so someone is asking how to reverse insulin resistance.
Yes, this is also very much possible by just following the right lifestyle. Because what we say is like whatever stage your health is in today, it's the result of the lifestyle that you followed from day one. It's the lifestyle, it's the thought pattern, it's the food habits that you followed all these years. So your health is a result of all that. And if you want to get out of that state of health, the only thing you need to do is change your lifestyle for the better, change your food habits for the better, follow the food habits and the lifestyle that nature has designed for you, and you will see that your body can just handle anything, and it can just get rid of the insulin and get back to a normal and healthy life. I've actually, I can give you a lot of examples where people have actually got rid of their insulin dependency and got back into a normal lifestyle, a healthier life.
Amazing, amazing. And then, Swati, we had another question about mindfulness from Svetlana. Could you please extend on that a little bit? So what would be your definition of mindfulness, and in which ways are you practicing it?
Right. When we say mindfulness, the best and the simplest way is just being aware of what's happening around you. Just be aware of what you are eating. Just be aware of what you're putting into your mind. Just be aware of who you're associating with. So just be there. Just be present with whatever you're doing. Like if you are eating, please don't look at use your mobile or your laptop or anything, or just try not to talk to others and just concentrate on eating. Just enjoy what you're eating, just feel the touch, just enjoy the touch, just enjoy the taste, and just see every mouthful that's going into your mouth. And that connection with the food is going to make the food better for your body, and you are going to connect better with the nutrients in the food, and it's going to digest better. So mindfulness you can practice in every single activity that you do from morning till night. From the moment you're awakened and to the moment you're going back to sleep, every moment you can practice mindfulness. Just be aware of what you're doing, and just see to it that you're doing with a purpose. Like it should have some good purpose behind whatever you're doing. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a great point. And then Someone is asking how to deal with anxiety with natural by natural means.
Yeah, natural means. Yeah. Whenever somebody is going through anxiety, the best thing is, as I told you, go out in nature, connect with nature, be barefoot. Try, if you have a garden, please try to work in your garden. Put your hands into the soil, work into the soil, get the sun's rays, connect with the trees and plants around you. And with time, you realize that all the positivity from the plants, from the nature has been absorbed by your body, and all the stress has just got released. You just try to, next time, whenever you face any situation where you are under stress or anxiety, please try this. Take yourself to some natural spot and spend some time there. And within half an hour, you'll see that you have gotten over your stress and anxiety.
Amazing, amazing. Then we had another question on the chat. Which books would you recommend reading to a person who wants to dive or delve deeper into all those subjects of natural health, detox, etc.?
Uh, there's an author by the name Edmund Ziegler. All his books are really good. And in the Indian context, there's a book written by Lakshman Sharma. It's called The Practical Nature Cure. Even that's a very good read. And there's 80-10-10 by Dr. Graham, I guess.
Yeah,
Even
Douglas Graham. Douglas Graham. Yeah.
Douglas Graham. Yeah. So all these books are really good to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good, very good. And now I was thinking about one question for a person who cannot either afford or find organic foods. In your opinion, what would be the best way to remove as much as possible pesticides from our foods? Are there any special washing available?
Yeah. What I do is I prefer to just wash it with water.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a fruit or a vegetable on which I would know that it has a lot of chemical deposits, then I try to squeeze some lemon in water and try to soak that fruit in the water for some time before I rinse it and wash it and then use it. And just like if it's a pineapple or a fruit of which the skin you're not going to eat, just remove the skin and you are good to go.
Uh-huh.
And as long as you're eating fruits and vegetables, even though they may have a lot of pesticides being used on them, still they're going to be way much better than eating genetically modified food or cooked food, because they are still going to be easier on your digestion, and the body is going to be able to process the chemicals more easily,
Uh-huh.
because the chemical deposit is going to be way much less than what it can have if you're eating some processed food.
Yeah, probably, especially if you add some weekly fasting into the picture, then your body is going to be assisted in
Yeah,
eliminating all those toxins.
right.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So last chance for today to ask your questions. Please unmute yourself if you want to ask.
Yes, I'd like to ask something. I started writing on the chat. I can.
Just ask it like that. It's the best. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So you said that if you get sick from time to time, fever, headaches, it's a good sign. And what happens if, like, I don't tend to get sick for years. I could go on without having headaches or fever. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? Does that mean that I'm healthy, or does it mean that I'm not detoxing and everything inside? There's a lot of toxins, which what about you, for instance? You've been living a healthy lifestyle since a very young age. I mean, people who have been living for many years a healthy lifestyle, raw food lifestyle, then they don't tend to get sick? You don't tend to get...
Yeah, that's a very good question. For a person, like if let me ask you a question before I answer your question. What sort of diet are you following? What do you eat in a day usually?
Raw vegan. But for many years, I mean, that's been for almost a year now. But also for many years, I've been eliminating things. Like a few years ago, I stopped eating dairy products and grains like bread and meat I haven't been eating for many, many years. And like more or less, I don't eat a lot and things like that. But I'm learning all the time more and more things. And as I learn, then I eliminate more and more food. So
Yeah, so now you've answered your own question, as you've been on the right side of, like you've been following the right food habit practices. You don't have much of toxins in you, so the body doesn't need to bring up all these symptoms, right? So it looks like you don't have much of toxins in your body at all. At the most, sometime you might just be having a simple cold maybe, or maybe not even that, if you're eating raw vegan since a long time.
maybe I can feel my throat a bit, but it's not like I get fever or I.
No, you wouldn't if you have been on a, unless your body needs to detox from something which is more deeper in there. Until then, your body will not have to raise a fever. So you are in a very healthy state, that shows.
Okay, and for you, for example, you're saying from the age of 5. I mean, that's a very, very probably many years.
Yeah, but then I have not been a raw vegan since I was 5. I need to clarify that. Yes, but yes, the way we were brought up, we were off processed food. We were never introduced to processed food and stuff like that. We used to eat more of raw food. So yes, I don't have any health issues that I can talk about. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
My body is trying to eliminate when it's just I may have a bout of cold, because I still eat some cooked food. So yes.
That's a great question. Thank you for that question, actually, because I was thinking the same thing. None of those things happened for me. And I recently I did a juice fast, and I didn't have any of the headache. I had a little bit of headache, but I didn't, it appears like I didn't go through trauma. The body did not go through trauma. So the person who was guiding me through the detox, she was saying, you're good for you. That means you don't have a lot of toxins. So I appreciate that question very much, Vital, because so I was thinking the same thing. Does that mean that I'm not detoxing as I should? So you're saying it means I just don't have that much toxins in the body.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so let's wrap it up, because I just want to remind you that Swati is from India, and for her it's almost midnight now.
Arik, just one question from my end.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So Swati, this is regarding to dry fasting. So I've been trying to dry fast for 48 to 72 hours, twice a month. But what happens is the moment I reach a 28th or a 32nd hour, my body is in such a bad state. I mean, apart from the dizziness or weakness, there's some changes happening in my body which I can't bear, and which makes me drink water or have a fruit. So and you said whenever there is a detox symptom, please go into the fasting state. Now, does this mean my body is not ready now for fasting, or why am I not able to continue beyond 32nd hour?
Yeah, just like I have told you before, if the body is in a chronic state of health, enough vitality is not available for the body to withstand or take you through or sail you through the detox symptoms that you're facing. So if the body has initiated a fever, or if the body has initiated some sort of a detox symptom, then it means that it has enough vitality to last until you go through the whole process. So this is why I advise people to listen to your body and see to it that whenever the body is going through some detox symptom, then you initiate a fast, and this is when your body can easily fast through and help the body in its elimination. So yes, but still, just try to push yourself a little bit further and let the body do the detoxification that it is trying to do. Maybe it's just trying to remove certain unwanted matter from your intestines or something. So just support it and just try to push yourself a little bit more. And even if you just can't do it, just it's all right, doesn't matter, because yes, your body is not yet ready for it. So again, get back into a healthy lifestyle, again, follow a very healthy routine and see to it that you're conserving more of your vitality. And then when your body is ready, it's going to initiate another bout of detoxification. That is when you can go into the dry fast.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, I have one more question. Maybe I just joined in the middle of the webinar. Maybe you might answer before. Weekly, I am doing 36 hours water fasting. It is advisable to detox weekly once time, or what is your advice about that?
Yeah. Whenever you're going through a fast, yes, you're helping your body to relax and rest and do a major detox and cleansing. And this is a very, very supporting thing that you can do. Anybody who goes through a weekly fast is actually helping their bodies to be healthier and stronger and help the body heal from any sort of disease. And it's a very good practice in the long run.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys.
One last question, please.
Yeah.
So I have started eating living foods, that is fruits in the morning, and then salad in the afternoon, and then a little cooked food in the night. So what has happened over the past 3-4 months is I have lost quite amount of weight, like 8 kilos. I was 68, now I am 60. So my parents are actually worried. What is the case in this? What should be? I am going on the right path, or is it worrying?
You are very much on the right path, because we need to understand here is whatever you have lost, the body is a very, very intelligent, it has a very intelligent system. It can never let go of something that it really needs. So whatever you have removed, whatever 8 kilos that have left your body, they were more of toxins and nothing that your body actually needed. That's why they were removed by your body when you supported it with the right lifestyle. So you actually don't need to be afraid of this or be worried by this. Your body is going to remove all that it doesn't need with time, and the day it realizes that now it doesn't have anything else to remove, that is when it is going to start rebuilding again. And you will have your body will take you to a state where you will neither be too fat, you will not be too thin, you'll just be perfect, and you will have enough weight to cover your bone structure, and you will look perfectly healthy. But then that's a process. You just need to go through the whole process to reach there.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Swati, in line with that question, does exercise, again, two opposite terms here. One is while you are detoxing, of course, there's a lot of weakness. So should you exercise during that time? Secondly, you said you should conserve as much vitality as possible. So how do we spend the vitality is important. So isn't what I mean, when we exercise a lot, or when we start building a body, doing gym, don't we use our vitality much in that process?
Yes, very good question. When we the amount of exercise that you're supposed to do should be just enough to help your lymphatic system move, help your body to move the unwanted matter, and don't just overdo of exercising. And if you're very tired or if you're going through some detox symptom, try not to do much of exercise unless your body wants it, unless your body wants you to, like, you feel like going out for a walk or doing some physical activity. Otherwise, please go into a rest mode and just exercise when you're feeling that you will be able to go through it, and don't overdo it. Overdoing is actually draining you of your vitality.
Sorry to disturb you. I have one more question, continuous of this one, the small question only. While we are losing weight, and that BMI we need to consider, or what is the
Criteria
point? Yeah, maintain our weight. For example, I'm 168 my height, so 67 to 70 they are saying my ideal weight. But what is opinion about that? We need to maintain, because I lost almost 40 kg, 130 to 85, but still I feel I have heavy weight. But after 85, I'm not losing much weight nowadays. But I'm doing yoga and all, but I'm not losing weight. What is your advice? This is my ideal weight, or I need to move on to 70 or something? Can you please elaborate something?
It just depends on what sort of a lifestyle that you're following. That is going to determine whether you're going to lose more weight or not. And if there is more toxin left in your body, is also going to determine whether you're going to lose more weight or not. So sometimes what happens is the routine that we are following might not be 100% in sync with nature. So sometimes the activity, the body might just plateau off and not be able to push out further toxins after a certain stage. So you might need to go more deep into your practice to push out even the last bit of toxins from your body. And maybe if there's no toxin left, then you can just be fine and be comfortable with your body weight, whatever present body weight you have.
Okay, so we can trust on this BMI and all, or just numbers? This all.
Trust your body. Your body knows better. So just listen to your body, and that will tell you when you're at the right stage.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Swati,
cool.
I have a question which someone has asked earlier. It's regarding like, what if I don't raise temperature, or like I don't get fever since years, and is it like I don't have toxins to be removed, or is it like my toxins are not coming out?
Yes. If your lifestyle is not in sync with nature, then I would believe that maybe the toxins are not able to come out because, as I told you, usually the body reaches a chronic stage where it is not able to push out the toxins because the vitalities are occupied so much that the body is not able to throw out the toxins. So you need to try to conserve your energy. You need to try to introduce as much elements of nature into your life as possible to assist and support your body in trying to start removing the toxins.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Swati. So now, so it's almost midnight for you now, right, India?
Yes, please.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Thank you so much for being with us. So Swati, now towards the end, just please let us know about your services that you provide, both for Indians who could actually come to you, and for people who are not able for now to come to you, online services. So please tell us in as much extended way as possible so that people get the idea.
Yeah. Yes. Then I run a center by the name of Antahasatwa, and it's part of my home. So people who want to heal from any health, physical or mental, they just come and stay with me, and I help them. I take them through the whole process. Like I help them by changing their lifestyle, changing their food habits, and help them go through all the symptoms of detoxifications and just help them heal. So people can come and stay with me, yes. And people, it's not just from India that who come and stay with me. People come from all over. I've had people coming from Netherlands, from US, from UK, from London, from all over. So it's like people actually love when they come here and stay here and when they go back. And this is one thing. And if by chance somebody is not able to come and stay with me, they can still get some online support. I help people on a monthly basis, or if they need more support for a longer support, because very often the chronic health issues are such that people need a longer time to heal. So we take up a 3-month program or a 6-month program where I help them go through the whole issue, the whole routine. Like I support them with a diet and lifestyle change chart, and they need to practice it. And we fix a certain time every day where we can talk and where I can guide, talk to them about how their day was, or if they faced any challenges, or if they faced any detox symptoms, or if they got any breakthroughs. and then I just guide them through, and I help them, advise them of how they can take it further on for the next day. So this way, like, I support them remotely also to go through the whole process and try to heal themselves.
Wow, that is amazing, Swati. And for the people who are able to come to you, so where in India are you located?
Yes, I live in Tamil Nadu, that is south of India, and my place, I live in a small town called Arcot, and this is around 100 kilometers from Chennai. So anybody who wants to come to me, they can take a flight to Chennai and take a taxi from Chennai to my place. And yes, that way they can reach me. And the place where I live in, it's a small town. It's green around. We have small hills around. So what I do is, like, when people come and stay with me, every Sundays, like, we have treks in nature. Like, we
Wow.
go and climb hills and spend time in nature. And during the weekdays, we go out for walks and then we do yoga every day. And I help them take I help them with the right diet, with the right food practices. We provide them with healthy fruits and vegetables, food that's based on fruits and fresh fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yes, we do practice some relaxation techniques, meditation, and mantra chanting. And
Wow.
yeah, and yes, I do counsel them, because it's not always just, the issues are not always just physical. Very often it's also connected with your mind. So yes, I help them, I talk to them, I counsel them, and help them get over their mental blocks too.
Wow, amazing, amazing. So what would be the best way to contact you if someone wants to inquire further?
Yeah, the best would be, you can contact me through WhatsApp. You can message me, and yes, we can take further from there. And yes, we can fix a consultation, online consultation. And you, after you've spoken to me, then you can take a decision on what's the best way you would like to do it. Like, if you can travel all the way, yes, please go ahead. We can plan on that. And if not, then we can try to take it further. I can just, you can decide what sort of a package you might need, maybe a 1 month package or a 3 month package. I'll be able to decide on that after I have spoken to you, and after I get to know your health issues and the length of issues that you've been facing all these years. And accordingly, we can take it further from there.
Very good, very good. So someone says number, please. So I will just post all the details below the video once it's uploaded on YouTube. If you are a member of a weekly fasting group, you will find I will post everything there, like the link to the YouTube video, etc. And if not, just I think tomorrow I'm going to upload this webinar, so you can just type in on YouTube Swati. What's your Tariwal?
Antaha Sattva is my YouTube channel. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and if someone is looking for you on YouTube, so it's Swati Dariwal, right?
Yeah, Swati Dariwal. Yes.
Swati Dariwal, and then you will get it. But the best way is just send me your name by WhatsApp, and I will add you to the weekly fasting group, and then you will get it in an organized way. So, and then you will find all the details there. You will find Swati's website and WhatsApp number, whatever you want, any way to contact her. Okay, Swati, so we'll definitely talk about our further cooperation, because it was just mind blowing. You know, I'm so touched, really, really, and I'm so happy we had so many participants and such a great interest of people, because this subject is fascinating. You know, we can talk about it for hours and hours and hours. So really, really, thank you very much. Good night. Namaste.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you very
Night,
much.
namaste.
Yeah, and thank you guys. Thank you everyone who came here and participated. You are the light. You are the light. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. Bye-bye. Good night, everyone.